seconds.
Welcome to the Big Ass Poker Show, everyone. We are live from the Big Ass Poker House. As you can all see, we are all spread out on the couch here. We've got Sly Poker Girl, Vegas Angel,
Hello.
Dr. Rudy, myself, Grinding and Grounds. How's everybody doing tonight? We are watching the chat room live tonight. We don't have a special guest besides the Big Ass Poker team. We just got done with Thanksgiving week. It was pretty fun. Good time.
It was a good time.
Thanksgiving was awesome.
We had
Good food.
We had a little on tilt radio Thanksgiving here with the Big Ass Poker Show and the Grinding and Grounds crew. Shu and Lady Shu came over and enjoyed Thanksgiving with us. Thanks for coming over, guys. We appreciate it. There's currently 17 people up in the chat room, and we're kind of stumped on what we're going to be talking about tonight. So
join us.
Join us in the chat room. Ask some questions. We will be checking. Ace Play was up for me. I didn't look at what was playing. So just to answer 2-3 offsuits question in the chat room. So what have you guys been up to?
Well, I wanted to say real quick, Dennis, Vegas Life, presented a challenge to us. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see it. A heads-up challenge for a t-shirt.
Yes, so Dennis wants to play best of 3, heads up for a t-shirt. I'm down. I don't know if he wants to take on one person 3 times. I kind of think it'd be fun for him to eliminate 3 people. You know, try to go through 3 of us. But I don't know if Dennis is listening or not. I hope you are, Dennis, but I hope you get back to me. But I think that we're willing to accept the challenge.
Absolutely.
Well, what do we get if we win?
$20 and a t-shirt, and he buys a t-shirt.
No, he didn't say he was going to give us 20. He said that you could keep the 20 that was going to go towards a t-shirt, which right now there is no 20. We would have to pull that out of our pocket. But we'd be willing to do that. But he would buy a t-shirt, he said, if he loses. Either way, I think it sounds like a good time. And I would definitely love to do that. I think that maybe we could get something put together where we all play, and the winner, of our guests wins, they get a free t-shirt or something like that. It'd be fun.
It would be a blast.
I just got my phone taken away by the teacher.
Yes, you did.
I told Dennis that if we do this, we're doing this on air. So we can either do it online or he can come here and you guys can watch it, but we will be doing it on air live. So it'll take place. I don't know if we can get all 3 done in 1 hour's time.
Oh, yes, we can. We just have to limit the amount of chips that you have.
Okay, so we'll do that on air. As soon as we have a time and date on that, we'll be posting it on Facebook and let everybody
Sounds
know.
like a good Christmas week special.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And, Dennis gets either way gets a t-shirt, and maybe he can embarrass the BigAss Poker team, but I highly doubt it.
Like when we win, I want one of his t-shirts.
Yes, they give
Just
us the shirt
anything-
he's wearing at that moment.
Yeah. I want
Shirt
it.
off your back show.
Yes.
Yep.
I
We'll
like
have to
it.
play some stud.
Interesting.
Right.
A little stud.
Now, Dennis is more of an online player than a live player, so I think we actually may have an advantage over him there.
Yes,
We definitely play a lot more live than Dennis does.
yes.
So, but we would be willing to accept challenges from other people out there also. Just don't know and fart on the couch. No, we try not to do that.
I did have
That's
Taco Bell.
what?
No farting on the couch, Cole.
Oh.
Partying on the couch. Too late.
My son isn't out here.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to expand the chat room so that we can make this more of an.
So we played the Gold Nugget. I'm going to bring that up because it's once a month. I don't think they're doing it this month, but I did horrible. I was in and out of that tournament in less than 2 rounds. I think I played all of about 23, 24 minutes, but Rudy and Nate had a much deeper run than I did. You guys want to share your experience?
I didn't have much of a deeper run than you. I was out before half the room was gone. I tried stealing because there were 2 limpers or 3 limpers already in the pot. So I made a decent sized raise on the button and then got re-raised by the big blind. And there were 3 of us to the flop. And I flopped a 4-card flush and double barrel straight draw. and decided I was going to put almost half my stack on it.
So an open-ended straight and flush draw.
No, I had a flush draw. Well, yeah, somewhat of an open-ended straight, but I had the 5-6 of spades on the button, and the flop came the 2 of spades, the 8 of spades, and the 4 of diamonds. So it was giving me about 40%.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I missed, and I knew he had a big overpair, but I was kind of hoping the board would kind of fall my way, but it did not. But it still left me with chips. It still gave me a chance. I still had the best hand when I went in. When I went in, I had ace-9 versus ace-7. The flop comes ace-9-7, and a 7 on the turn takes me out.
Oh no.
So that's the way that goes.
Rudy, how'd you do?
I lost.
Hello.
I lost. I got down to 84th place. I got really lucky, and then I got really unlucky, all in the same hand. It was a suck, and then a re-suck, and then I was the one packing. So that's how that works.
Interesting choice of words.
But I do like the I like the tournament a lot. I think that it's 800 out of 811 runners. I think that it's not that bad, and I think for the majority, the players aren't that great. And so if you're not getting cards, there's really not a lot of an excuse there because there's plenty of room to make plays, especially with a starting stack of 15K. So you have all night to sit and make good plays to chip up, even with bad cards. That's what I think.
You actually ran really deep. It was paying 81, and you were under 85.
Yeah, 84. I went out in 84th, and that is just terrible.
It was heartbreaking. I think that
Yeah.
I
But
think
you
my
know
heart
what?
broke a little.
I
when
don't
Rudy knocked
even.
out.
I know that
I
other
think
people
Angel
around
almost
me,
cried.
the people on the team probably cared a lot. But I played for stacks. I played to run for first, and the $200 would have been nice. It would have paid me back. But really, the money didn't really start until you got down to like 15th place. And honestly, I was a little above average, 20,000 chips above average. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. Not with those blind levels creeping up to 4,000, 8,000. It was time to. There was 12.5 million chips in play, and I only had 165,000 of them. So something needed to start for somebody, and I figured it should start for me. and I, when I feel comfortable, I tend to make some big plays, and I just didn't get through. But I love that tournament. I think I bluffed more in that tournament than any other tournament in quite a while. So it was just a lot of fun, and I found that it was more profitable to keep my chips out of the middle and just make plays, which is often the case for me because I suck at races. I tend to lose pocket
Rudy
kings.
does not win
anything.
races.
Doesn't matter what it is. I just I'm losing at least 70% of the time, which is unrealistic. But it's the way it is.
You figure you should be winning probably at least 48 to 52% of the time.
At least, considering that I'm coming in way ahead half the time, more than half the time.
As our friend Ken Lynn said, sorry, Angel, I
Probably
had to hang up your phone for you. But as Ken Lynn said, if you get it in, what was it, 4 times, and 49% of the time you're gonna lose if you get it in good.
Right.
So meaning if you get it in bad, 51% of the time you're coming out smelling like a rose, right?
Well, and we all love it when we get it in with the worst hand, and boom, we win it, and we get out of line. And I find that our biggest pots sometimes are the ones that we get out of line with, but it seems that the more I try to play absolute and as correct as possible, I tend to lose a lot of races. And so my goal on the next tournament, January 24th, I think it is, we'll play that one again.
Which is the day before your birthday. So.
Which is the day before my birthday,
Yay.
so if I do final and win it, it'll be on my birthday, on the 25th. And so I've decided that it's the only time I'll get it all in is if I flop the monster, but aces I'm probably not going to go away, but I think as an experiment I'm folding everything all in, kings or less, just because that's how I lose. That's it. I could have been in that tournament and continued to do what was chipping me up, but I chose to get my chips in and
But you actually did out flop him, and he caught an
He
8%
caught it.
out on the turn.
on the turn, yeah.
2 cards to go, and he had to catch a king to beat you pretty much.
I flopped the ace with the ace queen of diamonds. He turned his king with his set, and I couldn't improve. Actually, I did improve, but it still wasn't enough. I ended up hitting another ace, and he ended up making a full house out of that.
Kings full aces.
So it's
versus
like,
trip
all right,
aces with
I'm
king,
out of
king.
here. I think he had me covered by about 20K. Lynn Michnick was there, so she was on the table.
Good friend of Team BigAss Poker.
Yeah.
She ran deep too.
Yeah, she actually
Yeah,
we took 27th in the tournament. Re-established her faith in playing poker tournaments instead of just being a cash game grinder like she has been. So
She did well. She was kind of fun. She just, sitting there real smug with her sunglasses on and her eyewear or whatnot, and just, getting pocket aces and doing her thing, having a good time, smiling a lot. So it was good to see her like that, because I have a feeling when she's on the cash table, she's probably all business. In the tournament, she was doing a lot of smiling, so that was good. She was happy, and she was catching some decent cards.
We just had lunch with Lynn on Monday. That was nice.
where do you guys go to lunch?
Some sushi place.
It's
Yeah,
cold.
very expensive.
Yeah, we paid our half, which was $100. And we're like, okay, well, it's not happy hour
Yeah,
apparently.
but you're like with Lynn, and it's like you can't really squint at that bill. But I think she did a little bit too. She thought it was happy hour, which is like supposed to be 50% off, and we missed happy hour by an hour.
It was in
that sucked.
South Point. It was a sushi restaurant.
Zenshin.
Yeah,
Zenshin.
it was nice. It was a fun little spot. I think mostly it was the half-gallon, sake mix with some other fruit drink.
That
they
is-
got.
Oh.
That is Lynn's favorite place to eat. I believe we've eaten there with Lynn before too.
Yeah.
A really, really good place, but it was happy hour when we went.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's not that much.
It was very. Denise was there. It was nice. It was a nice dinner. I know that Denise and Lynn both want to get more involved in tournaments and stuff, and they root BigAss Poker. They're some of our biggest cheerleaders, so I'm really happy that they support us the way they do. Especially because they could have been on the show with us.
On the team. And it is really nice. I didn't know if I'd like doing the whole team thing, but I love it. I thought it would be nerve-wracking and have people on the side railing you, but I love it. I think I do better because I'm doing it for the team. Like, I don't want to let my team down. If I let myself down, I can just move on. It's like, oh, I let my team down.
This is a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I mean, especially when we're all in there and we know we'll get a cut. If I
Right.
bounce out and
Right.
Nate's still in or something and he is successful, I know I'm still going to get a payday out of that. So, and that helps too. And it's fun to have the camaraderie. And I think that's what keeps me with it is the camaraderie. It's not necessarily the winning. I mean, I do love to win. I love to make money, but at the same time, the camaraderie is just about as good as it gets, especially when you have friends with you while you're playing and stuff like that. So I agree with you.
And sooner or later, when we all are in these tournaments, there will be multiple of us at the final table. And that's where we're looking to make our big score, is not just have one player take down a tournament and split it up. We all want to make the final table and take it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just
And it
say
will happen.
1,
It's
2,
just
3,
a matter
and 4.
I love the personality. I like the attitude.
It's just
the
a matter
way
of
we
time.
need it,
Oh,
so.
I know it's going to happen. We're also 4 different styles, though. My I found lately that my final table it needs a lot of help. My final table play needs a lot of help. I'm struggling on the
And-
final.
I'm sorry. The chat room's asking about the badge on my hat, and no, that says Hard Rock. It's the $10 million poker open that they have up at the Hard Rock. It's not a badge, JoJo. Not a badge at all.
Oh.
But thanks for asking.
By our next show, we should all have our
It's a
hoodies,
cup.
and we'll be wearing them, and you guys can see. And I'm really excited to get them out there. Just need to get the orders and to pick it up. So that's where we are with that. I'm ready to make the next round, so I need orders because I didn't place the order today because I was hoping that we would get a couple more. So if anybody listening wants to place an order, please hit up one of us on Facebook, and we can add to that.
We
So
can do like 12 at a time is what they want us to do.
Or if you're just listening, you can send us an email to bigasspodker@gmail.com, and we will get right back to you. Give us at least 2 days to make sure that we see the message. But we'll get right back to you with your order.
yeah, the shirts, it's pretty inexpensive. The shirts are only $20. The hoodies range from 45 to 60, depending on whether you want a lightweight one or a heavy one. It's winter time. I suggest the heavy ones. It's a very nice material. But we're excited, and I'm excited to wear them because I feel like once the people see them, more people are going to want them. As soon as I put the picture up, everybody wanted one, you know. And now when they see them around town, everybody's going to want one. There's no doubt in my mind. Which, by the way, Lori, she's going to be getting her hoodie really soon. Lori Davenport. I told her when she has her hoodie, I want her to come on the show and tell everybody how awesome it is. So
Absolutely.
she's going to do that. So she's very excited to receive hers. And I'm excited. We're going to have them coast to coast from Nevada all the way to Pennsylvania. I've got people ordering in Pennsylvania.
Further east in Pennsylvania.
Well, I know,
too,
but that's as far as I know that, you know, the addresses I've received. That's the furthest east. But yeah, so, you know, Mississippi, I mean, if you think about it, BigAss Poker is going to be worn in at least 5 different states, and that's really exciting to me. I mean, it's just amazing. We're due. I mean, it's very exciting. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about this. The Orleans noon tournament is growing. It's growing. Every time I see it, it's bigger. I think Rudy and I went down a couple weeks ago, and it was like 2 tables, you know, about 20 to 25 people. And then last week we passed through, it got to about 30, and today we passed through, and what did they have? They had 4 tables going.
For the noon tournament?
Yeah.
Now, what I like
it's
about
growing.
New Orleans is they have a player of the month system.
Yes.
So if you start playing on the first of the month and start having a couple good scores in that first week, if you don't compete the rest of the month, you're making a huge mistake, because just like Rudy last month, you actually could have got on the board if you just cashed a little bit more, like one more time, I think.
One more time, you'd been on the board.
Two final tables for a very easy, soft tournament that only takes like 3.5 hours. And for $200 more, I would have catapulted in 10th place mid-month. So it doesn't take much.
I mean, I like the Stratospheres tournament a little bit better because they don't have annies for the same buy-in.
Mm-hmm.
The structure is exactly the same. Pretty much everything is the same. The buy-in, the 50 plus the 20 add-on. But Stratosphere doesn't do the antes, so it makes it a little bit easier if you are short stacked to kind of wait for your hand, whereas the Orleans doesn't do that. But the players are gravitating towards the Orleans right now, so you kind of got to follow that. Plus, they have the player of the month thing, which is $2,500
For first place.
first place.
It's a $5,000 prize pool each month.
Yeah.
$1,250 for second. You know, what is it? 500 something for third. You know, I mean, come on, guys. You know, it's 4 places
for
on that
4.
board.
But here's the thing: is that
$5,000 a month is not a bad.
the Orleans is only I think they charge 19 or 20% rate for that, and I think that's the difference, because over at the Strat they're at 28. So for the same buy-in, there's a reason why the Orleans is growing. Strat's losing customers. However, I heard that they went back to that exact format. So some of their loyal customers went back, including me. I go back there because I love the place. I like to play there. Yeah, I like to play there.
It's one of my favorite programs.
It's not bad. It really isn't.
The staff is friendly.
Kind of really bothered me when they changed the format, but they went right back to where they used to be, almost.
You guys didn't move to town. That tournament actually started at the Sahara. That used to be the Sahara daily and
That's what we
nightly.
heard.
And they had such good fields. There were always 100+ people in the field.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was fantastic. When they moved to the Stratosphere, they lost probably 35 to 40% of the people that used to go. And then it's just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. And now the players aren't favoring the Stratosphere as much
No,
as
I
they
think
used
it's
to.
the rate.
The rate's too
I
high.
think the rate
It's
bothers
28%. It's too high.
I mean, if you think about what you pay, and you know, like, I think that they had over almost $1,000 for first place for $70. That's a really good
It was
ROI.
1,050, and then the rake was 1,080.
Well,
So
that
they
was
actually-
that was at the Stratosphere.
Yeah, they took more than. You're talking about over there.
Orleans today, yeah, we peeked at the prize pool, and it was they had 40 players, and they had $980 for first place, total prize pool of 2,000. You know, so and just between first and second was, you know, almost $1,500, and that just doesn't seem, that just seems like a pretty good deal to me. You know, and right now you go to the Stratosphere and you might get 2 tables, maybe. You
Except
know,
tonight is the bounty over there.
tonight is.
And Matthew Fridley was he was telling me that, you know, for a little bit of fun, he likes to go over to the plaza where they have like multiple tournaments.
Yeah, they have a $3, $100 guarantee with $5 rebuys at 9 or 10 a.m. And then they have a $12 guarantee at 10 p.m. I know of. We've gone down to the plaza with Dutch Boyd and a few friends from my other radio shows, and played those a few different times. Those are fun, but they're on the electronic tables. And Las Vegas is getting another room of electronic tables. The former Station Casino, now independent, is Aliante Station, or now they just call it Aliante, up north is also getting the electronic tables. So we'll have 2 electronic rooms in town, but Aliante never really got a lot of poker action. We went up there for Thanksgiving like 6 years ago, and they only had 1 table going then. That was the only time I ever went into Aliante's.
Well, I think over the plaza, they guarantee a certain amount regardless of how many players. Right? And they always guarantee at least 3 people getting paid. Very, 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 very cheap. But, you know, he did say it was fun, and I think that's probably why he goes. It's just fun. So it might be worth checking out. I think I might. I think I might just go look at it just to see, to play on an electronic table. I think I have once, but years ago, where you use your card and you kind of... Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I wish they'd all be electronic.
Wow.
They'd all be electronic.
Like
Yeah.
no dealers at all, ever?
So
Wow.
you like the digital game more than you like the dealer making the mistakes by flipping
Yeah.
cards over and
Yeah.
not counting chips right.
Yeah.
And it
And-
does take a lot of errors out of the game.
And also, it's right there. Fold, just like online. Fold, check, how much to bet, and I don't have to fumble with chips and stuff.
But you do have that time limit that you usually don't have live,
Right.
where it'll automatically fold your hand after 45 seconds.
And I like that.
You do like that? It doesn't slow down the game at all?
Right. I like that.
And you can still get a little human interaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
But you
mean,
just have nobody
I like
to
the
stop.
feel of chips and stuff, but, you know, it's cool.
With no dealer at the table, you have nobody to tell you to, all right, stop with the attitude towards the other players. We're not going to take that. There's a lot of things in an electronic table that you wouldn't do at a regular table with a dealer, because you kind of have consequences, because the dealer will say something or call the floor over to tell you to be quiet. So there you really only have one host who's kind of watching over everybody and telling people to, oh, quit talking that way and whatnot. It's a little bit of a different feel than a regular live poker table with a dealer.
I don't like them.
No.
You don't
Well,
like 'em?
I don't
You
like them.
hater.
Hater.
Sorry.
Well,
love
I'll
you.
give it a shot.
I
I
like
mean,
them.
I do like human
I-
interaction.
You know, when you
And
like
that's-
accidentally knock over your chips and you're like, shit, and you're like trying to hurry up and stack them and look at your hand at the same time and
I
everyone's
love
yelling at
stacking
you.
chips, though.
You know, that's poker. That's part of the game. And the dealer flips up your ace and you're like, damn it, you know, and you look down and it would have been ace king, but instead it was, you know,
King
king
three.
four. You know?
We get the same kind of hands.
Stupid BS hand. So I don't, it's just like all that today, like this guy today,
Did you get less hands with
or
a
not
real
today,
deal?
last time I played, the dealer flipped a king, no joke, I had a king underneath. The dealer flipped up pocket kings on him, which was great for me because I had jacks on that hand. And I, bingo and if
yeah, why
but
not?
not, but yeah, I had jacks on my hand, so it ended up working out great for me. He muffed, I won the pot, it's a good
Sure.
thing. Had that not happened,
Whatever you
I
bring.
ran into kings, you know,
Right.
I would have had to piss him off because I would have beat him with my jacks, all that. So, you know, I that's just me. I don't want to change anybody's opinion, you know, sound like a bitch, but I just
No,
like
Yeah, and I don't.
How
like
dare
it.
you not like those?
I know, right? No, I don't. I
well,
think
I
it's
always have
fine.
this bad reputation of being a bitch, so.
Wow, wow.
I don't
Hope I didn't
It's all
have
right.
any of
I
that.
don't think you're a bitch. She's
Didn't-
not a bitch.
Aren't you the one that posted, I'm not a bitch? Just kidding. Go fuck yourself.
I love that.
It's a t-shirt I should own. I probably am a bitch, and that's okay. I mean, I have a tendency to piss a lot of people off on the poker table, but I don't mind it. they're not getting under my skin. I'm getting under theirs.
Right, and that's what you should
You know,
do.
yeah.
The RNG on those tables is just like Hog Wild. It's just a random number generator. You don't really hear a whole lot of people say, "Oh, it's rigged," like you do online. But I've only played them on
Is that what they're
for
saying?
a couple
Is that
hours.
what you're saying?
That's what Colo said.
Oh,
How's the RNG on the tables?
well, I don't know. I have very little experience playing on them, but I can kind of understand. I would understand it if somebody did say that, but at the same time, I don't know how they would favor it. But you do have a player's card in. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of cheating. But anytime when you talk about Leo, there could be cheating with regular cards too. So screw it. I mean, there's always cheating. I was thinking because there's mechanics, there's dealers out there that know what they're doing, but there's just less of them than hackers. There's a lot of people out there that can like hack into your shit and look at your cards and stuff. Sorry.
No.
Well, that's one thing that like Ultimate Poker had, where you couldn't have software running that you could share your screen with, so nobody could really even hack into your system. If you had a bug on your system, it would actually tell you cannot run Ultimate Poker while this program's running.
Well, you
And
can't
you
run
don't see
Ultimate
it
Poker
running.
anyway.
Right, but that's now we
I'm
can.
just kidding.
But for instance, Angel, on your computer, the last time you tried logging into Ultimate Poker, it told you that you had sharing software that wasn't allowed to be open while you were playing Ultimate Poker.
Yeah.
But you didn't have anything open.
No.
You just shut down your computer and opened it back up. So somebody was watching your computer.
But don't you feel that like random card generators just not the same? It's like the shuffler machine. I don't like those. Like I just want to see the dealer. I like that they're fast, but that's it. Good dealers are really fast at shuffling too.
Oh yeah.
So I like them shuffling the cards. I like the whole like it's
So
like
you think it makes a difference if I'm physically shuffling them or if I'm putting them in them?
No, not the card shuffle, but
okay.
like a random card generator. Absolutely.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't know if the hand is predetermined, which is the way it should be. Like it should this is the way I was explained it, and I don't know if this is still holds true to this day, but I called Full Tilt pissed off once because I lost pocket aces. And I asked them how this work. It did happen. I asked them, how does this work? Like, not because I lost aces, but how are these cards determined? And they told me the cards are constantly shuffling. Well, that tells me that if I waited an extra second, a different card would have came out. You know what I'm saying? Like
So they just basically told you it's your own fault.
Basically, yeah. They're saying, oh, the cards are constantly shuffling. And, like, it's not like, like a random card generator where they just, like, fake shuffle, pass the cards out, and then the cards stop, and it is what it is.
Right.
There's a flop, there's a burn, there's a turn, there's a burn, there's a river. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's, but what I was explained was that the cards are constantly moving. So, does that mean if I act immediately, it's a different card than if I wait 10 seconds? Then it's a different card.
Now that's,
To me,
I've heard it explained that way also on a couple random number generators.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a
I've
problem
also,
to me.
and then there's also what they were calling the real deal, where there was actually a company that was taking decks of cards, shuffling them, computer generating the shuffle, the way it was shuffled, and then playing the hand that way. And then they would just constantly be shuffling real new decks of cards, and whatever way they came out shuffled is the way that it was put into the random number generator.
Well,
But
see,
they
that
took
makes
real cards, shuffled them, digitized them, and put them in.
that makes a lot more sense to me.
And that's
You
the way
don't
it
see the
should be.
dealer sitting there shuffling as you're playing it out, so that if I'm sitting there thinking, getting the time called, the dealer shuffled 5 times, now it's a different turn.
Could you
know?
imagine people would lose their mind?
Oh, I know.
Just the dealer picking
know?
up after the flop and shuffle.
But that's the way Full Tilt explained it to me, and then ever since then, I always had a bad taste in my mouth, like about the whole thing. I'm like, what if I would have snap called? What if I
Right.
You
would have
might have
waited
got
an
your
extra
set.
5 seconds? So that's always a mind fuck that you're constantly going over in your head, like, and so I talk with my hands. I do sometimes.
Well, Mike in the chat room says the continuous shuffle is to protect from hackers, which makes a lot of sense, which means somebody can't go in and see what the next card's going to be.
I totally agree,
Yeah.
but that takes away from the game to me because
It's not a pure shuffle.
yeah, because like if you were to sit down on a table, the dealer shuffles, it's done. Here's your cards, it's done. It's predetermined. Like whatever's going to happen, that king of diamonds, that one outer is where it is in the deck. Like if it's gonna river, it's gonna river. If you wait 5 seconds, it's still gonna river. If you wait 3 minutes, it's still gonna river. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I don't like about that constant
And
shuffling. But I understand it though. I understand why they would do it that way. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's to prevent, and Mike says it's to prevent hackers from being able to see exactly what's coming up in front of them, because it could happen.
Well, I understand that. Now it feels more like a slot machine kind of thing
Yeah.
to me.
Like it's like a real
Like
constantly moving.
like when you're doing the poker, you know, the poker on the slot machine. Doesn't that keep going too?
Yeah, that keeps going
So,
also,
like, you're
so.
Yeah.
You know,
Which,
Yeah,
if you think
it's
about
like
it,
a
it changes
slot
everything because
right.
normally you're shuffling in an entire deck, but once there's 20 cards missing and you go try to reshuffle,
Yeah, there's 32 cards that are still being shuffled.
and now
do they
it's
take-
being mixed in a different way.
Right, and do they take what's supposed to be burned cards and keep shuffling those also? Any cards that weren't exposed to a player?
Exactly, you're gonna go crazy thinking about it.
Yeah,
'Cause I was like
Oh,
on the
great,
phone
yeah.
with Full Tilt, somebody who hardly spoke any
Well-
English trying to explain this to me, and I'm angry because I lost all my money with aces.
I'm gonna try to find somebody that actually knows,
Yeah, I want to know.
and then we'll
because-
bring them on the show. So that'll be one of our quests.
That's a good idea.
And we'll try to get
Find
to the
somebody-
bottom of some of this.
You wanna find somebody who wrote a random number
Yes.
generator?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
wow.
somebody who did?
Some people over at Ultimate Poker.
Well, good.
Um,
That's
I
a
want
good
to
thing.
find somebody
Oh, yeah.
that definitely
Ultimate
knows
poker.
how it works,
Okay.
and we could discuss and try and figure out the realisticness of it versus the reality of it on a table, and see how it stacks up. Obviously, it's like you asking yourself, you know, if a tree falls in the middle of a forest, does it make noise? Because we don't see the cards, and we're getting the right amount of cards,
It
and
makes noise.
they are mixed. Of course it makes noise. You're saying yes, it has to make noise. So
Just
it
make
matters
it
that
sound
they're
good.
shuffling,
Right.
but you don't see them being shuffled. And
Well, what
you
came
know,
first, the chicken or the egg? Let's really go driving.
Right.
Well,
The
well, I know the
chicken.
answer to that. It's the egg.
No, it is the chicken. We'll have this discussion.
Well, we know
later.
that the chicken had to evolve, right? So as evolution came around,
Oh, great.
as evolution
Oh,
changed
no.
things, each checkpoint was a little bit different.
Let's talk about
So
Obama.
as
Okay.
each chicken hatched,
You guys, you all should grab a cocktail for the rest of the show. Let's see here. We're already about 35 minutes in.
we
See how
should have
fun we are
played
just
a
the four of us?
game, and the goal is to get a real poker table where with some glass so we can see whole cards, and you guys can watch how I dominate, and then we can go from there.
Only if you can rebuy. Only if you can rebuy.
Well, if we're doing it for real money, then we'll make sure it's a low buy-in. We'll fire a few bullets at it.
No. Do you guys remember when we had Dutch Boyd over?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
It was episode 2.
Oh, damn. You know what episode?
I even mentioned to Dutch
Somewhere.
that Antonio Esfandiare had said in an interview that he only lost with a set over set in his poker career maybe a handful of times. And Dutch said he had the same success. He really hasn't ran into set over set many times. And yesterday down in Florida, they were having the first live cash game with just females being filmed. One of my friends, and she's been a guest on the show, Lauren Billings. You can follow her at Titty Chips on Twitter.
He just wanted to say that.
You
I
just
did.
wanna
I
say
love to
titty
say Titty
chips.
Chips. I can't say it on
Why
AM
did I
radio.
think of that?
So
Yeah, right? That's so
in
funny.
a cash game, she first bought in for I believe $5,000, and she flopped set under set. She was under the other person's set, loses that hand for the whole 5K, and not even an hour and 10 minutes later, she flops a set of fives versus Vanessa Selp set of jacks. So
Oh, boy.
she had bought in for another $7,000 and lost that. So she $12,000 in an hour and 10 minutes. She loses 4 sets.
That's a rough night right there. It really
Oh,
is.
that makes me-
I lose set to set once in a while, but you know, it's definitely happened to me more than Antonio or
Felix.
Dutch. But
TITTIE chips at Titty Chips. Lauren Billings.
I just haven't
I
had it
think it
happen
was
to me that much though.
Not
But I
like,
think it's more.
I think it happens not very often on the tables in real life play, but definitely online. I've lost sit online several times.
Well, this was a live
But-
cash game.
Yeah, but in a live cash game, no. I mean, let alone twice in an hour. That's,
And
Twice in an
cash game,
hour,
did you
never
watch it?
happened to me.
no.
Did you watch that?
Except online. And online, it happened to me 7 times in 2 days.
You could totally tell the cash game was all women because
Oh,
now I love all those women and I would be the same way because we are just chatty.
I even had a
And it
teammate
just-
on the show.
It doesn't, it didn't stop. I mean, they were chatting every single, like, about everything.
About everything, sitting on
think-
each other's laps, talking
Oh,
about,
yeah.
oh, let's
Here's
just get
my
naked
theory
and play poker.
behind that is I think that women, it's uncomfortable when you don't know what the other person is doing. But if you could build a relationship and start talking, it makes them feel comfortable. And that's why I think women are chatty at the table.
Well, there was one woman who actually said something in one of the interviews, the pregame interview before the game started, and she said that she was going to be targeting the woman with the biggest cleavage because she's obviously that's showing the most cleavage because she's obviously not there to play poker.
Good point.
Well,
Because we do
how
that
did she
to
know
distract
that
you all.
though?
That's what and she really didn't have an idea
Others like
of who the other pros were at the table besides Vanessa Selps, who's literally the number one winningest female poker player ever. She overtook Kathy Liebert in like a year ago.
Kathy Lever.
You
No.
said who?
What are you talking about?
Vanessa Selps.
Okay.
She's the winningest female in poker.
And
And
she doesn't show cleavage.
She's the one that was married to Chad Brown.
no, that's Vanessa Russo.
Vanessa Russo. I was going to say, that girl is not
Vanessa
good.
Selps does not
Sorry,
like
Vanessa
boys.
Russo, but you are not good.
We challenge you.
Even
has
though
more
Vanessa
money.
Russo does teach for the WSOP Academy, has
I know. I
Has
saw
a
her
lot of
playing at the
success.
Heartland Poker Tour. She was there. I can't
Does she
remember.
cash?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
Well, I didn't either.
a lot of people.
I wasn't.
Oh, jeez. Anyways,
But we
I
did
didn't cash either, and
Not in the main event.
bad things
Well,
happen to good people.
yeah.
I recant my first statement about Vanessa Russo. I will
you
probably
cashed in one of
marry
your events, didn't you?
I did. I cashed
Yes,
in
You cashed in event one.
22 of my events.
You and Sheryl both cashed event one.
Event 1.
Event 2.
Event 2.
Event two, I cashed event
You
one.
cashed event 1.
I cashed event
But-
I folded
Chopped
my
it.
way out of that
6
I
tournament.
got it.
I folded for like 6
Was it?
hours. It was horrible.
Wow, that's, yeah.
I wish I would have played. I wish that wasn't event 1. You know, because I just
one.
like
Event two.
I wish event 1 was not event 1.
What do you
I
wanted
wish-
event 2?
Yes, because I would have played that one first, and I would have been like more in the zone, in the groove, like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did so bad in event 1, but I came back in event 2, and just it was easy, you know. I knocked myself out of event 2. I didn't have to go out when I went out. I think I shoved against this with 6 deuce or 6-3 or something. Against
Yeah.
the big blind. I don't remember. I think you had pocket 30s and I had 6-30. I don't
Yeah,
even know what I was
yeah.
thinking, but I was doing so good. I just thought I will just take that blind right there.
Yeah,
It
and
didn't happen.
Most of the time they.
I didn't pair my 6. Damn it.
Were they suited?
No. It was-
At least you could have been like, oh, they were
Yes.
suited. I love it.
Yes, Lily really is that hot, and so is Ebony Kenny.
Ebony
Who's
Penny?
Lily?
What was the
I
picture
need
you
to be
just
the
showed
judge
me?
of this.
The show before the show. She's not hot.
Ebony Kenny is not hot, Angel says. We could definitely, well, I'm not going to, well, I was going to mention hooker, not a hooker, but we'll see here.
Wrong place. I just don't think she's just not my type.
Here's a picture
No.
of, well, I'll let it clear
What do you
up a little bit.
She's okay. She's pretty. She's okay. I mean, I don't know about hot.
Her personality is amazing also.
I mean,
But yes,
She
that
looks
that
nice.
is that is her also. That's a Poker News
that's a
photo.
hot picture of
Oh,
her.
that's a very hot picture of
But I
her.
don't think that makes her hot. Like, it's a
No,
good picture. I don't know. She's alright.
Her attitude
What do you
actually
think?
makes her twice as hot as
What
her
do I
picture.
think?
Well, maybe. I don't.
I like blondes, but I like them with a little more hair.
Yeah, I think it's her hair. She had longer hair.
I don't know. I think personality counts a lot too. So
Yeah, she's made an amazing
But yeah,
You're
for
asking
sure.
me
She,
to judge
I don't
her.
say anything wrong
I
with
hate
her at all.
judging people.
No, I mean, it's just,
What does that have to do with poker?
there's so many.
It's golfcoastpoker.net.
I,
See, that other girl was pretty too. Wasn't
Oh.
And there she's got.
oh, what are you doing, Nate? Shut your phone off, you're getting.
I had it off.
Principal.
That was the principal, actually, of my son's school.
Your son didn't show up for class today. Yeah, we have not gotten to that problem yet. Not
Yeah.
skipping.
Did they go to school with you?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, what do you guys think about doing the Orleans? Yeah?
For the month of January, are you guys going to do it for the month of December?
I think
'Cause I'm
we
going to
should
be
do
gone for 10 days.
I think we should do it like every day. Like almost every day.
And what time's it
We don't have to do
start?
it every single day. Well, you can't do it.
Well, every tournament has different value for
Noon.
the points, and so if you do like the Friday,
Mm,
the Friday night, you're only getting 40%, 40 to 50%, whatever it is, of the points. So
Let
if
us
you're,
make the money.
if you cash for like $1,800, you only get 900 on the board. So.
Angel quits her job.
I quit.
She quits.
No, she doesn't.
No, actually,
She's gonna quit to be a professional poker player.
they're pretty good about, letting me off for stuff that deals with poker.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get off early on Tuesdays, an hour early, so I can make it home in time. But it also helps that the owner plays poker and my manager plays poker, so.
So they love it. They're like priorities.
Yeah, right?
There you go.
Somebody said Lily's a hoe.
So yeah,
No,
Yes.
it said Lily is hot.
Oh,
not a hoe.
I,
No, I
I
don't
see
even know.
HO, and then it's kind of far away, I guess.
The two big winners in the female game in the ladies game yesterday was Vanessa Selps, who was the only girl that actually bought in for the 20K to start off with. It was a max buy of 20,000, but she is the winningest player. So she had the biggest win. Janie Kerstetter, she's also a grindette. She was on the show this last summer at the World Series on Beyond the Grind, and she's a great friend of the show, but she's a very talented player also. But she let out on the turn when she made a flush. The other girl had flopped a set, and she got her to pay her off on both the turn and the river by leading out after she made her hand, basically playing it face up and kind of bluffing that she had it, but she had it.
Yeah.
I'm confused by that statement.
By that statement, the other girl flopped a set of threes, and the board, when it flopped, Jamie checked. She made a call, and then when the flush card came on the turn, Jamie Kerstetter leads out. Now, if a girl leads out to you into a flush board after you already bet the flop because you flopped the set, do you raise or do you just call or do you make a
Is
decision?
there already a flush?
There's a flush on the turn.
How many?
Is the
Three?
board paired?
Yeah, there's three flush
And I'm
cards on
just
the board.
calling.
Then just call it.
You're just calling. Now, the river comes, it doesn't improve your hand, but it doesn't make a fourth flush, and they lead out again.
Just
you-
calling.
You're still calling? You're not going to conserve your chips
Because
in a
you
cash
have
game then?
showdown value. There's no reason to think you know,
Because they have to
there's
have two
there's
clubs
stuff
to
out
beat
there
you,
that can beat
Or a
you.
better set, which doesn't happen very often, so.
What are they leading with that you're not going to raise then? If you
Top
don't,
pair, two pair.
you still have
Wait a minute,
sets,
you
so why-
said that
why
there
would-
was two of the same suit and then it turned the third
Right.
and then they took control of the pot. Now, they can beat you with a flush, but you're just calling, the board doesn't pair.
Even though it's
still-
for all your chips though, you're still check calling, even though it's a
You just
$5,000
say
You
game.
didn't say all your chips.
Oh, it's
You just said
it's
that.
costing her all of her chips.
Oh,
Then
then no,
unfolding.
then I'm folding.
It's
You
an
just
automatic
said
fold.
call a bet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna call it bet, but I'm not gonna call in, but I'll call
It's
it
an
bet.
automatic fold. Because there's billions of
call it?
other hands you could.
On the river, she still made the call
No,
and
it's
didn't
back
come
call.
back after they went to break.
I mean, I'm laying that down because, especially in a cash game, it's your lifeline. There's no reason to.
Yeah, it's different in a tournament. I might cry call there, but in a cash game, I'm more apt to know when I beat, and I'll make that fold there. I'll even fold it face up, saying, "God, I wish the board would have paired there."
No, I
But-
think I'm folding either way. It takes all my chips.
I'm not folding until the river though,
Even in a
because
tournament.
I want to see if I can pair the board.
Right.
So even if they make an overly large bet for the turn card after the turn comes, I'm still calling off because I have great chance of pairing the board. It's just the way it is. You can't fold those kind of powerful hands just because, you know, they're representing, but.
In the same game, you've already seen set over set at least twice.
You can't play like that. You have to, it's a brand new hand.
I'll fold them.
You can't play in the past.
I'll fold.
Bad things happen.
Any questions? No?
Mike Janish says tournament call, cash game fold.
Tournament, I'm still folding on the river
Tournament
because
fold,
you're
catching
still
fold.
losing. It doesn't matter what game you're
Well, see, in a tournament, it would actually be best to fold
Because it's your lifeline. That's everything. Once you're out,
because you
you're out.
can't buy more chips.
Exactly.
And if it's the call that you're looking for to make it right, it would be a cash game because you can make that mistake and reload out of your pocket
In a cash game.
in a cash
Yes,
game. In a
right.
tournament game, you can't.
No.
You can't make that mistake.
Once you're out, you're out. You're
Well,
done.
the big question
rail,
is in a
You're
tournament,
crying.
it really depends on so many factors. Who's doing it, who's betting it, what level of the tournament are you in, because you could feel the essence per se of the tournament, and you know when hands like sets are gold, and you know when hands like sets are squashed. So it really depends on when this is happening, because the tournaments come and go in waves, and you just have to know which wave you're on.
And I think that's true. We all like rail each other, and when somebody goes out, like we've had discussions and like, why did you do this, or why did you call, or why didn't you go all in, or whatever it is. But I think you have the feel of the table, you know, and if you're not sitting right there, you don't have that. So it's hard for somebody, I think, to judge after the fact.
Yeah, because Heather's been my constant shoulder on that.
Are you calling me judgy?
Because well, we all do that.
She's
We
like,
do that
what are you
at the
doing? I would
Right.
never do that. And I'm like, but you don't know how the tournament is right now. Right now, these kind of plays are really profitable.
Right.
This is working now.
Such
But I do
a
remember
lie.
I do remember her talking about because when you did go out of the Heartland Poker
She
Tour,
said-
you went out with kings.
Pocket keys. What happened was,
Oh, but I never judged that.
everybody's had an opinion.
Right. But what I was getting
Right,
to is
right.
when we left there, we had an hour discussion about how she could have folded kings there, and then
Oh, I
just
know.
last weekend with your ace queen,
Oh.
you were like, I think that's right. But
Yeah,
that's-
so I get these pocket kings. And
So true.
she was talking about how I could have got off kings.
No, you were talking about how I could have got off king.
No,
Right.
you were
no,
talking
we were
about
talking.
how
She
I
could have got out kings in the Heartland Poker
No,
Tour.
when I was in the satellite.
Yeah, for the
There was
main
like
event.
there was like 28, 27, something like that. People
Well-
left, and I lost kings in a huge pot. You were telling me I shouldn't have played the kings because
Oh no!
Or get
Wait
too
a
close
minute! I thought you were talking about a standard tournament. If you're talking about a survivor tournament, then yes. If you could make it to the end of the tournament without playing a hand, then you really shouldn't, because it's a survivor tournament and you're not playing for first. Just because you have kings doesn't mean you have to play them. That was the only point I made there.
so you're right now and you're right. For that one,
Are you talking about your satellite?
Yeah.
Well, of course I'm right. I'm Dr. Rudy. The fuck?
There's no arguing with
And
me.
this
Here
is
we
what
go.
we put up.
Come on now.
Always
It's a
Knows
survivor
all.
tournament. I'd love to coach her, but she won't let me. She says she doesn't need my advice. She says I'll get it from
You're
somebody
getting
else.
laughed at.
Or maybe we are, I don't know. But it is hard. It is hard
Hey.
to coach a significant other.
Do you see Joey called you headland?
Look, that's old school. He must have been around for a while. He knows.
Yeah.
That
What'd
was
you say?
her ultimate poker. He said,
Headland.
"Yay, headland."
Headland. But
Damn it.
it is hard to take, and I don't know how, like, we have a lot of spouses out there. It is hard to take criticism sometimes from,
That's part of the team. The team requirement is we need to be able to have an open mind
The
and
team
listen.
requirement is that you need to give whoever gets knocked out a 20-minute cooling off
yes,
period.
that is our rule now.
I can agree with that rule, but you're the one who's offset about it. So I'm just responding. You know,
But
You're
it's
coming.
no, that's called you're out of the tournament. You're venting, you're tilting,
Oh,
whatever
you're
you want to
venting.
call
Okay,
it.
I
You're
just,
not allowed to like then go. Oh,
I-
that's because you blah blah
I
blah.
was
Like-
just making a comment like, well, you kind of did this, and you could have done that, or you
That's
know.
not the time to say that. You wait, like
You
I
just
said,
shake your head for that 20 minutes and go, mm-hmm.
and then pounce.
She's forgetting who taught her how to play poker. Obviously,
Oh
this
Lord.
is a 10-year-old
You
relationship
see
that I
that?
started with this poker thing.
No advice is good advice until an hour afterwards, says
Yeah,
Mike Janish in the past.
I agree. I agree.
However, it's different for everybody. For me, if I make a mistake and somebody points
I'm
it
pretty
out
sure you're outnumbered
right
here.
after it happened, then to me it sticks. It's like, you know, you see your kids screwing up, and what do? You take an hour and then tell them, or
I'm
you
like,
do it
oh,
right then and there on the
yeah.
spot, like, hey, that's how we do it, right? She's my kid now.
Well, maybe not with your kids.
No,
but
cooling
yeah,
off
I-
period.
yeah.
Everybody needs that,
All right, fine, you get an hour.
especially if it's your own
Well,
fault.
then
Right.
Like when I got knocked out of that 10K, that was my fault. And then you proceeded to tell me that it was my fault, but I already knew that it was my fault. So that was what made that so difficult to deal with, because like I'm the one that went all in with the worst hand, and I lost the worst hand.
But who likes to be vented
I'm mad at
on
myself.
either? Nobody likes to be vented. Like,
You guys are my teammates. Like if I can't vent on you, like, you know, why he called me with the
well, it's not like a friendly vent. She's in a bad mood, like, about it for I don't know how long, and you have to walk a straight line and be on tippy toes.
Shit's getting real.
That's not-
Show's
it's-
almost over.
It's not going to be a comfortable ride, I promise.
You know what? Next time I'm taking the GoPro on the ride, and afterwards in the car, that is some fantastic
You
could-
conversation.
you
The
could watch
footage
Heather
after the tournament is the
blow
best.
up.
It would just be, yeah, it'd be great, because you got Heather stomping to the bathroom, or me stomping to the bathroom. I went over and kicked the garbage can when I got out. I was like, oh.
Part
So-
of being a successful player is being healthy in mind and body. And
Oh, Lord.
it takes all aspects of this, which means proper form is going to control feelings. So
We
that's
don't
what
like
it's
him.
about.
He just comes as a package deal.
It really
just
does
kidding.
make a difference. It does. It's
does.
it's good. It's
We all love
it's good
you.
to practice because it will improve your game. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but I still like to be mad at the end.
I know, just let me kick a wall or something.
If I'm not out, I can control my emotions pretty well at the table now. I never used to be able to, but
I have an insulated shirt on. Yeah, it's kind of chilly out.
it's chilly.
I just don't have a hoodie on tonight. I want.
But
with
the more you
insulated
drink, the
shirt.
warmer it gets.
Yeah, it's
We
only.
can
We're
crank the
sitting-
heater here.
We're sitting
but-
under a giant heater, and I'm like starting to get flushed.
Well, you know, it's probably getting low on
See the heater?
there's
The heater's
probably
right above us.
about
It's not that bad out here.
70 in here.
But we live in Vegas. Like it hits 60, and we're freezing.
I know, it's so
We need
funny.
hoodies and beanies and scarves. I mean, it was cold.
It was cold. It's been cold.
Yesterday
It
was
was
cold.
rainy.
But yesterday was like 50.
I know, we're
I
all
don't
like,
miss Reno.
"Brr, it's so cold.
Mike Janish is only 22, and David Gillette says he's been playing poker longer than he's been on this earth. And I think Rudy and I are both in the same boat too.
Well, I can't make that statement, but half of as long as you've been on this earth.
I've been playing for 15 years,
Yeah.
14 maybe.
2/3 as
You've
long
been
as
playing
you
longer
can.
than you're already playing when we got married, so at least 16
Oh, at
years.
least 16
So
years.
he's 22 years old, or he's been playing poker for 20
I
years?
figured
22
out
years
that
old.
I've been playing for 19
Man, you're a
years.
baby.
And I have not been playing for anything real for all those years. Only just for entertainment
Mhm.
and bragging rights. And I did it for so long. And then I finally decided, well, let me see if I can move to Vegas and
Yeah,
play
there's a
some
difference.
tournaments.
Like, how long have you played? Well, a lot of people play poker, and I've played poker in my backyard for, a couple bucks. You know?
When I
here
was
and
5,
there,
I had chicken pox, and I had my first World Series of poker with me and my stuffed animals. It was the 5-card draw championship, and I won
but
that.
You won?
Heads up versus the puppy, and I don't care what that puppy says, I did not cheat.
The first time I played poker was at a live poker table at a casino.
1 to
Me
4
too.
spread limit, 7
Not
card
at the
stud,
kitchen
and then
table, not, yeah.
your first Hold'em game was a 5-10 limit,
Yeah.
$100 buy-in at the Diamond Joe Casino on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Your first hand, you played 10-2 for a
Awesome.
raise coming in, because
Damn.
I was the small
For a
blind,
raise
she was the
coming in.
big blind. I raised coming in with 10 king, and she called me, and the board came out like 3-10-3, and then she got a 3 on the river to tie me to make 3s full of 10s also.
Yeah, it was a horrible call. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no clue.
I played
I was
Omaha
like,
and
oh, maybe
Raz.
I get a flush, or, you know.
That's all they
There's 4 more
had.
cards, 3 more cards coming.
Yeah, all they had when I started playing.
3-6 limit was
Very-
my first.
Very rarely was there a Texas Hold'em game spread in the casino.
Yeah.
When it was only Friday or Saturday evening. They wouldn't even have one during the day. And then once in a while on a Wednesday night after we got done with the $10 rebuy tournament at the Diamond Joe, would they have a
Yeah.
5-10 limit game and so on.
Now I hate limit, but only because I do so
Well,
terrible.
low limit.
Even though I
Yeah.
used to do well. I started Omaha,
limit's
then
okay.
Raz, and Raz and Omaha, and then of course 3-6, 4-8. And that was kind of cool because I didn't take it seriously. So if I won a big pot, it was like, whoa, look at that pot.
Some of the biggest pots I've won have been in 3-6 limit though. Like,
Yeah,
as
they
weird
can
as that
get
sounds,
serious.
you know, like 7-9, really? You know, it's a huge pot. Even the biggest cash game pot ever.
The biggest pot I've ever lost was online, and it held aces, and the guy quadded up on me with 10s all in free. Yep, that was my biggest pot I've ever lost.
That was like an $1,100 pot.
It was $1,400.
And that was cash?
Cash on.
It was online, yeah.
Poker stars?
Oh.
I've never really, it's for real money. It's since I think I've gotten close to it several times. But,
Well, it's about time for us to wrap up for the week, and then we'll be back next week. I will be in Oregon, so I will be on the other side of the screen over here next week.
But we have Steve G, 2-time deep WSOP main event runner,
all around cool guy.
and an awesome
Very cool.
person, a good friend of ours, will be on the show next week, taking up Nathan's spot.
Yay!
But Nathan will still be on the show, just on screen or something.
Yeah.
Fabulous Oregon, Eugene, Oregon.
It's
First
cold
time.
there. You're gonna be cold.
I'm gonna
You
be
will be
indoors.
freezing.
I will
Oh.
be indoors.
You're gonna see what trees look like.
Yeah, take a
I,
picture.
I know what trees look
Yeah, we'll
like
have lots
from,
of
from
pictures.
northern
I
Michigan.
forgot. I know, but see, I forgot.
I
It's been
know,
2
like-
years since I've seen a tree.
Well, then you might see more water than you've ever seen. Oh, wait a minute. You've seen the Great Lake.
Yeah.
I've swam in an ocean. I'm all
Bring
right
me
with
back
that.
a snowball.
So peace out.
From fabulous here in Las Vegas, fabulous Las Vegas, we're gonna say good evening, good night.
Peace.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching the Big Ass Poker
Love.
Show.
Now water.